I'm finally back with a Dollar Tree haul for you. Finally have enough to show you. So let's get to it. Alright, so I was able to get 15 items all together, 9 DVDs, and 6 Blu-rays. So let's get into it. First off, I'm going to start with the kind of actiony stuff. So first up, we have Swordsman with an Umbrella from Martial Arts Video. Sounds legit, right? Let me read to you what it's about. A mysterious loner armed only with a deadly iron umbrella enters a rustic mainland China village. A man who believes in justice is on a quest to find and punish the assassin who murdered his family in cold blood. Filled with exciting kung fu action and never-before-seen fighting with the deadly umbrella. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That sounds good. And it's actually a legit old kung fu movie, it looks like. All right, and next up, a more modern twist, I guess. Andy Lau in Switch, or when I looked it up, Switch, the movie. Chinese superstar Andy Lau leads an off-the-rails action spectacular. But in this one, he plays a Hong Kong secret agent. And yeah, I do like Andy Lau movies, so I'm looking forward to this one. I'm not going to read the back because it's too hard to print. Is like that big. It's so little. Next up, I do have two from some more well-known folks, if you will. And I kind of laughed when I saw this, but I ended up getting it anyway. But it is a Steven Seagal movie called Attrition. Yeah, so if they're gonna start releasing these at the Dollar Tree, I guess who's gonna have to pick them up? This guy right here. When you see that circle beard, you know it's gonna be bad. At the border between Thailand and Laos, an ex-Special Forces agent and renowned kung fu expert Axe, played by Steven Seagal, has renounced his violent past and turned to a life as a healer in a small remote village. When a local crime lord kidnaps a girl known to have mythical powers in hopes that she will be able to cure his strange disease, the girl's father asks Axe to get her back into the game. Axe gets his old team back together and plans strategic rescue for the gifted girl, which leads to an action-packed adventure. Okay, so I don't know who wrote that, but that drunken description on the back there, but okay, it doesn't sound bad, but again, it's Steven Seagal with his circle beard. Do I need to say more? All right, and I was pleasantly surprised to find this one is a 7-pack. Yes, there's 7 movies in this one of the Dolph Lundgren collection. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Out by Echo Bridge, and this one includes Command Performance, Bridge of Dragons, Direct Contact, Direct Action, The Peacekeeper, Blackjack, and Sweepers. So I've heard about half of those. So, and I do know 1 or 2 of them are actually pretty good. So, yeah, I'm actually pretty pleased about this. And it's on 2 discs. It's 4 on that one and 3 on that one. So, yeah, they're compressed, but I mean, but you have the movies. So there you go, and it's $1. All right, the next batch of DVDs are all horror or horror related. First up, I got the TV series called Prey. And this is, I believe, season 1 and 2 is what it said when I looked it up, at least. And it is a slipcover. And it does have this little Canadian little rating sticker on it, and it is a sticker. It's not on there, like it's a sticker. Like they kind of placed it on there. So I thought that was a little weird. And I did have to like slowly peel the thing off. Stop doing that, Dollar Tree. Stop when you get slipcovers. You need to stop doing that. It makes it like impossible. Now I got to do Google right here. It says, follow Detective Constable Marcus Farrow as he races against time to clear his name of a brutal crime in the first electrifying season of Prey. Then, experienced Lentz prison officer Dave Murdoch will travel to in order to save the life of his threatened daughter. Both high-stakes games of cat and mouse will leave your adrenaline pumping and begging the question, what do you do when the hunter becomes the hunted? There you go, Prey. That sounds pretty cool. All right, and I got another one from the BBC. This time it's a movie called Blackwood. You can't outrun fate. Yeah. And again, it has that PG thing on it. So I guess we'll see. I guess it's like TV PG type of thing. But the cover is what drew me in. And this was the only copy they had at either store. So yeah, I went to two Dollar Trees. Ed Stoppert stars in this spine-tingling thriller where terrifying visions spiral into a deep obsession that plagues college professor Ben Marshall. Having recently recovered from an emotional breakdown, Ben relocates the family to the peaceful countryside of the Blackwood estate, where upon arrival he is plagued by visions of a murder he is convinced took place in his new home. All is not what it seems in this haunting tale of lies, betrayal, and murder at the seemingly idyllic Blackwood estate. So yeah, it could be cool, could be awful. I don't know. I usually have pretty good luck with the BBC stuff, though, so I'm looking forward to this one. All right, next up we have If She Screams. I do not recognize anybody on the cover or the names on top. But it is released by Echo Bridge, and let me read to you what it's about. Casey is a struggling actress who is short the money she needs to pay her rent when her friend presents her with the option to work for a weekend on a weed farm up in the hills of Northern California. Little do they know an ancient evil has been unleashed and is taking its revenge on the inhabitants of the rural area one by one. Casey and her friends find themselves facing terror after terror as threats, both human and supernatural, stalk them. Together, they must fight to make it off the mountain alive. Yeah, like I said, I don't know anybody on it. It's Echo Bridge. But yeah, doesn't look too bad for a buck. All right, next up, I believe this one went to theaters, but I could be wrong. But it's called Shark Night. Terror has surfaced. Yep, another Jaws ripoff, but you know. A dream getaway becomes a blood-soaked nightmare for 7 scantily clad college students in this terrifying action thriller from the director of the Final Destination and Snakes on a Plane. When Sarah and her friends arrive at the family's Louisiana lake house, they quickly strip down to their swimsuits for a weekend of sexy fun in the sun, but they soon discover the lake is infested with hundreds of flesh-eating sharks and a few equally dangerous human predators that turn their killer vacation into a bone-crunching battle to stay alive. All right. And I just read that it's Sarah Paxton and Joel David Moore in this one. So there you go. That's actually kind of cool. I do like both of them. So yeah, if you've seen this one, let me know what you thought of it. And the last DVD that I got, and I was pretty surprised to see this one there. When I looked it up after it said it's the Canadian release, so I guess that's maybe why it was there. But I got A Quiet Place, yeah, for $1.25. You see, Un con tranquille. I'm sorry, I know my French is terrible, but yeah, Quiet Place is a really good movie. I'm sure you've probably seen it. If not, what are you doing? Go see it. You can get it at a Dollar Tree apparently. So there you go. What are you waiting for? Now on to the 6 Blu-rays. First up, I got Cover Me with Danny Trejo, and yes, this is the reason I bought it, was Danny Trejo. There's the back there, and I'll read to you what it's about. After her father's death, Mia Stone becomes the heir of the family tech company. She views all her longtime employees as part of her family, but little does she know her partner Richie Howell has dark intentions. One night, Mia is visited by a mysterious stranger, played by Danny Trejo, who wants who warns her that there is a plot against her family and her company. Even with the help of the mysterious man, Mia finds herself a step behind the action, so she asks her loyal work family for help unraveling the mystery. So yeah, it sounds fairly interesting, and like I said, I pretty much bought it because of Danny Trejo. But yeah, we'll see. All right, next up, another actiony type of thing called Locust. Yep. I don't know why this one caught my eye too. I'm not really sure why, but I'll read to you. I'll read to you what it's about. Ryan Black must return to his hometown of Serenity Crossing for the funeral of his abusive alcoholic father. He hopes to convince his brother Tyson to leave the rundown town for brighter horizons while he is there. Unfortunately, Ryan's father owed money to the town's deranged drug lord McCrae, who kidnaps Tyson in a bid to get his money. Ryan seeks help from his ex-girlfriend Izzy, a tough single mother and stripper, to help him negotiate with McCrae's goons and free his brother before it's too late. So yeah, there you go. Locust. Sounds alright. Now we move on to the horror-ish type stuff. And the first one's called Nuclear. Yeah. I saw that little skull on there. I was like, alright, let me see what this is about. Emma and her mother are on the run following an act of violence committed by her own brother. The two hide out in an isolated area near a nuclear power station. Emma meets a charismatic boy and begins to hang out with him, but her mother feels Emma is too traumatized by her past to interact. Emma breaks away from her mother and navigates the hostile setting alone, but finds her dangerous past is haunting her. So yeah, there you go. That's Nuclear. Sounds pretty interesting. All right, next up we have Ghost Team 1. Yep, so it's you can tell by the cover and everything that it's definitely going to be a comedy. When roommates Brad and Sergio accidentally arouse the dead, they team up with sexy amateur ghost hunter Fernanda to expose the evil inside their home. But just as the guys start to get close to their hot new partner, they discover that a horny demon wants in on the action. Now cameras are up and more than fear is rising in this outrageous romp. Ain't It Cool News calls it genuinely hilarious, where only one thing is certain: someone is gonna get screwed. Alright, so yeah, that does sound pretty funny. And again, this was the only copy in two places that I saw this. So I had to pick it up. Alright, next up I found the Spanish version of Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. And yes, the English is on there, so that's why I got it. Yeah, I didn't have a copy of this, and like I said, it's worth $1. I enjoyed this movie, and I'm not going to read the description because it's in Spanish. So, and I don't speak Spanish, so there we go. But yeah, cool little movie. I do remember liking it, and it was some of it was filmed near where I live. So there you go. And then the biggest one that I found was a Blu-ray of The Curse of La Llorona. Yeah, I know a lot of people hated on this one, but I kind of dug it. It was all right. Definitely worth $1. You know, it's in the Conjuring universe. Well, what more can you ask for? A terrifying, timeless legend comes to life in The Curse of La Llorona. She is the weeping woman, and those who hear her death call in the night are doomed. She creeps in the shadows and preys on the children, desperate to replace her own. In 1970s Los Angeles, ignoring eerie warnings of a troubled mother suspected of child endangerment, a social worker and her young kids are soon drawn into the frightening supernatural realm. Their only hope of surviving La Llorona's deadly wrath may be a disillusioned priest and the mysticism he practices to keep evil at bay, on the fringes where fear and faith collide. So yeah, I don't know. I kind of dug this one. And I did get a couple things from Amazon, so I guess I'll show those off too. I won't go into too many details, but I did get Outlaw Profit, starring David Heavener. I know I promised David Heavener in January, but it looks like it's going to be February now. So yeah, look forward to reviews on all the David Heavener stuff. If you haven't seen any, Try to. They're hilarious. And this one's released by Troma. All right, I also got season 4 of Cobra Kai. So now I have all 4 seasons that are available on physical media. So now I just got to wait for them to release season 5. And the other big one I got was the 50 pack called Night Screams. This is one of those Mill Creek packs, of the 50 movies. They come in like these little packets. Yeah. With like 2 movies on each side, and it's like 12 discs. Yeah, but this one actually had a bunch that I didn't have. So, because I have a ton of these, I should probably do a video on that. Let me know in the comments if you'd like me to show off all my 50 packs, because I got a bunch of them. But yeah, this has all kind of stuff on it. It says 50 bone-chilling tales featuring classic and contemporary masters of horror. Thrilled to this amazing compilation of horror and suspense films filled with legendary stars such as Lon Chaney Jr., Todd Slaughter, and Evelyn Brent, and popular actors including Robert Vaughn, E.G. Marshall, Carol Baker, Ava Gardner, Ginger Rogers, Mickey Hargitay, and Buster Crabbe. From devils and vampires to creatures and killers, this collection has something for every horror fan. So yeah, Night Screams. I'll probably do a couple reviews off of this too. All right, so that is my Dollar Tree haul mixed with a couple from Amazon. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. It really helps me out. Subscribe if you're new. And YouTube, I will see you next time. Remember to stay spooky. Peace.